Your brain can turn one loss into 100, and it happens without you realizing it. Not because you are careless, not because you lack discipline, but because the human brain responds to loss in a very specific way. We like to believe that bad decisions come from bad thinking, that if someone simply paused long enough, they would stop themselves. But psychology suggests something far more uncomfortable. In moments of loss, the brain does not slow down. It speeds up, attention narrows, emotions intensify, and the desire to fix what feels broken quietly takes control. At that point, decisions are no longer about logic or patience. They are about relief. Relief from discomfort, relief from regret, relief from the feeling that something has gone wrong. And once the brain enters this state, even small losses can quietly grow into much bigger ones. To understand why people chase losses, we first need to understand how the brain experiences losing itself. The big misunderstanding. When people see someone chasing losses, the explanation feels simple. They assume the person lacks discipline, that they are acting emotionally, or that they simply do not understand the risks involved. This explanation is comforting because it creates distance. It suggests that bad decisions only happen to certain types of people. People who are careless, people who are impulsive. But psychology shows that this belief is wrong. Loss chasing appears across all levels of intelligence and experience. It affects beginners and experts, professionals and amateurs, people who know better and still continue. The reason is simple. Loss changes how the brain interprets situations. The moment something is lost, the brain no longer treats the situation as neutral. It treats it as a problem that needs to be corrected. And once the brain shifts into this mode, waiting feels dangerous. Doing nothing feels like allowing damage to remain. This is why advice like just stop rarely works. At that moment, stopping does not feel like control. It feels like accepting harm. The reason why losses hurt more than wins. The human brain does not experience gains and losses equally. Psychologists refer to this imbalance as loss aversion. Losing something produces a stronger emotional reaction. Then gaining the same thing produces pleasure. In simple terms, losing hurts more than winning feels good. Brain imaging studies show that losses activate regions associated with pain. This means that neurologically, a loss is not just disappointing. It is uncomfortable, and discomfort demands attention. While wins allow the brain to relax, losses keep it alert. That alertness pushes the brain toward action. Not thoughtful action, but urgent action. The brain does not ask whether the decision is wise. It asks how quickly the uncomfortable feeling can be removed. This is why losses linger in the mind longer than wins, and why people remember what they lost more vividly than what they gained. The brain then feels the need to get back to even. After a loss, the brain becomes fixated on a simple idea, getting back to where it started. Not winning more, not outperforming anyone else, just returning to zero. This is where many people misunderstand motivation. They assume risk-taking comes from greed, but more often it comes from discomfort. The loss creates a mental imbalance, and the brain believes that action, any action, is better than sitting with that imbalance. This is why decisions made after losses often feel urgent. Waiting feels unbearable. Acting feels productive, even when it increases long-term risk. In this state, patience feels like surrender, and surrender feels worse than taking another chance. The brain is not trying to win. It is trying to feel normal again. How risk starts to feel justified. As losses continue, the brain adapts. What once felt risky begins to feel acceptable, and what once felt unacceptable begins to feel necessary. This shift does not happen suddenly. It happens quietly, gradually, almost invisibly. The brain starts reframing danger as opportunity. Not because the odds improved, but because emotional pressure increased. Over time, the original risk is forgotten. All that remains is the desire to escape discomfort. In this state, risk no longer feels exciting. It feels required, and once risk feels required, rational thinking becomes difficult to access. The brain is no longer evaluating outcomes. It is seeking relief. And here is why smart people fall harder. Intelligence does not protect against loss chasing. In some cases, it makes it worse. Smart people are better at creating explanations. They do not act without reasons. They generate reasons that justify continued action. This is where rationalization becomes dangerous. The brain begins defending decisions instead of questioning them. Logic becomes a tool for justification, not correction. Awareness alone is no longer enough. The mind is not lying. It is protecting itself from discomfort. And protection often feels more important than accuracy. Loss chasing is not limited to money. It appears in relationships, careers, personal goals, and long-term commitments. People stay longer in harmful situations because leaving feels like accepting loss, even when leaving would reduce future damage. Under stress, the brain struggles to evaluate long-term outcomes. It focuses on immediate emotional relief, and that focus shapes decisions across every area of life. The brain is not broken. It is doing what it evolved to do. Avoid pain, restore balance. Understanding this does not prevent mistakes instantly, but it creates distance, and sometimes that distance is enough to stop one loss from becoming many. The brain does not chase losses to win. It chases losses to escape discomfort. And once that discomfort is understood, decisions become clearer. This video is for educational purposes only. It does not offer advice. It explains why certain patterns repeat, because awareness does not remove risk, but it gives you control over how you respond to it.